What if I told you the most exciting sports cars on the planet right now don't come from Italy, and they don't come from Germany. They come from Japan. 10 cars, 10 stories. Some of them are affordable enough that you could actually own one. And one of them, the car at number 1, was built as a goodbye, a final statement, a legend signing off for the last time. So let's get into it. Here are the top 10 Japanese sports cars you need to know about. This model is not an ordinary sports coupe trying to intimidate people with huge power figures. It is one of the rare models that reminds the driver what driving a car is actually supposed to feel like. The story of this car began with the Toyota 86 and Subaru BRZ project, but when the GR86 name arrived, with the spirit of Gazoo racing behind it, this became something more serious. The GR86 does not rely on a large turbo engine. It uses a naturally aspirated 2.4-liter boxer engine because the goal was never to artificially inflate power. The goal was to preserve balance. This engine produces around 228 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque, offered with either a 6-speed manual or automatic transmission. On the outside, the low hood, wide stance, short rear section, and aggressive air intakes give the GR86 both a classic Japanese sports spirit and a modern racing character. Inside, everything is focused on the driver. A low seating position, a clean cockpit, sport seats, and a 2+2 layout practical enough for daily life. Starting at around $32,000, the GR86 is one of the most compelling sports cars on the market today. It is not the most expensive, not the most powerful, not the loudest, but on the right road, in the right hands, it can turn an ordinary Tuesday into an unforgettable race. Number 9. Lexus IS 500F Sport Performance. The Lexus IS 500F Sport Performance is one of the last luxury sports sedans carrying an old-school V8 spirit, and in today's market, that alone makes it special. Introduced in 2021 as the most powerful version of the IS family, this car was not built to compete on numbers alone. It was built to make the driver feel something real. Its biggest detail, the one that separates it from almost everything else in this class, is that it does not rely on a turbo engine or a hybrid system. It runs a 5.0-liter naturally aspirated V8. In the modern sedan world, that is becoming almost impossible to find. That engine produces 472 horsepower, sends power to the rear wheels through an 8-speed automatic transmission, and gives the IS 500 a character that its turbocharged rivals simply cannot replicate. While competitors focus on turbo technology and artificial sound design, the IS 500 answers with a deep V8 exhaust note through a quad exit system that you feel before you hear it. On the outside, the long hood, wide stance, large air intakes, and aggressive rear design make it look like a predator in calm clothing. Inside, sport seats, premium materials, and the Mark Levinson sound system deliver both performance and luxury at the same time. Starting at around $60,000, this car carries real value. As naturally aspirated V8 sedans continue to disappear, the IS 500 may not just be a car to drive in the future. It may be a car to keep.
Number 8. Mazda MX-5 Miata RF.
This model is one of the rare cars that became a legend without ever chasing one.
The MX-5 story began in 1989, when Mazda looked at classic British roadsters, the simplicity, the rawness, the connection to the road, and asked, what if we built that but made it actually reliable? The RF version appeared in 2017. The name stands for Retractable Fastback, and what it gave the Miata was the joy of open-air driving combined with the elegance of a coupe roofline. It changed the car's personality without changing its soul. Under the hood sits a 2.0-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder Skyactiv G engine, producing around 181 horsepower and 151 pound-feet of torque. The 6-speed manual, rear-wheel drive, and near-perfect 50-50 weight balance make this car feel alive in corners in a way that numbers alone can never explain. The 2026 Mazda MX-5 Miata RF starts at around $38,450. For that price, you are not just buying a sports car, you are buying the feeling that most expensive cars spend their whole lives trying to recreate.
Number 7. Subaru BRZ TS. This model is not a loud machine. It is a sports coupe that shows its character in the corners. The BRZ story began as a joint project between Toyota and Subaru, a lightweight, rear-wheel drive sports car built for drivers who actually care about the drive. The first generation arrived in 2012. The TS version came later, tuned by STI engineers, and it brought the standard BRZ closer to something sharper, something more precise, something that felt less like a daily coupe and more like a small track weapon. It does not try to solve its limitations with a turbocharger. Instead, it runs the same 2.4-liter naturally aspirated Subaru Boxer as the GR86, 228 horsepower, 184 pound-feet of torque, sending power to the rear wheels. A Torsen limited slip differential, STI-tuned suspension, and Brembo brakes make the corners feel different on this car. More confident, more alive. In crash tests, the 2022-2026 BRZ models earned a good rating from IIHS front crash tests. The performance is real, and so is the safety engineering behind it. The 2025 Subaru BRZ TS starts at around $36,000, a car that proves you do not need more power to go faster. You just need better balance. Number 6. Honda Civic Type R. This model is not just a powerful version of the regular Civic. It is proof that a car built for everyday life can carry a racing soul. The Type R story began in 1997 with the EK9, a hot hatch built for the track with a lightweight body, a stiff chassis, and a high-revving VTEC engine that became almost mythological. Over the years, every new generation carried that spirit forward. Heavier, faster, more aggressive, but always a Type R. The modern version now runs a 2.0-liter turbocharged VTEC engine, producing around 315 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque, sent to the front wheels through a 6-speed manual transmission. The large rear wing, aggressive bumpers, wide air intakes, 19-inch wheels, and triple exhaust exit make it look like it belongs on a circuit, not a commute. On Type R models, the red Honda logo is not a styling choice. It is a symbol, a signal that this car comes from a different place than the rest of the lineup. Inside, the red sport seats, metal gear shifter, digital gauges, and Type R serial number remind you that this is a numbered vehicle, a specific car, your car. The 2022 to 2026 Civic platform earned a good IIHS small overlap rating, meaning the performance is matched by real structural engineering. The 2026 Honda Civic Type R starts at around $47,395. A track weapon with a backseat, an everyday car with a race number. The Type R has always been both things at once, and that is why it keeps showing up on lists like this one. We're now entering the top 5, and this is where the list gets serious. Before we go further, if you've been enjoying this so far, hit that subscribe button and drop your pick in the comments below. It genuinely helps this channel keep building lists like this one. Now, top 5. Let's go. Number 5. Lexus RCF Track Edition. This model is one of the most aggressive V8 track weapons to ever come from a brand known for calm and comfort. The idea was simple. Take the already impressive RCF, strip it down, sharpen it, and make it rare. Lexus introduced the Track Edition as a limited model for 2020, and from the first moment you see it, you understand this was not a marketing exercise. A carbon fiber hood, a carbon fiber roof, a large fixed rear wing, a titanium exhaust system, lightweight BBS wheels, and Brembo carbon ceramic brakes. Every piece was chosen to remove weight and add precision. Under the hood, the same 5.0-liter naturally aspirated V8 that appears in the IS 500, producing around 472 horsepower and 395 pound-feet of torque, sent to the rear wheels through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Inside, Alcantara, leather, carbon fiber details, and a driver-focused cockpit still carry Lexus comfort. The performance and the luxury coexist, without either one making an apology. The RCF Track Edition launched at $96,650,
And because of its limited production, its carbon components, its naturally aspirated V8, and its rarity, it continues to hold strong value on the used market today. This is the kind of car that does not depreciate in the same way. It appreciates in meaning.
Number 4. Toyota GR Supra A90 A90. This model is not just a sports car that Toyota brought back, it is the modern rebirth of a name that became a legend. The Supra story spans decades, from the Celica Supra era of the 1970s to the A80 of the 1990s. A generation of enthusiasts grew up treating that car like a religion. When Toyota announced the A90, expectations were almost impossible to meet. The collaboration with BMW added fuel to the debate. Same platform as the Z4, BMW-sourced powertrain. For some fans, that was enough to walk away before even sitting in it. But the A90 earned its respect over time. Toyota's Gazoo racing engineers tuned it with their own character, sharper, more emotional, built to feel like a coupe and drive like a race car. The long hood, short rear end, wide fenders, large air intakes, and double-bubble roof shape connect it visually to the classic Supra while moving it clearly into a new era. The headline engine is a 3.0-liter turbocharged inline-six, producing around 382 horsepower, capable of 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in about 4 seconds. The 2026 Toyota GR Supra starts at around $58,300 and can rise above $69,000 depending on specification. Is the A90 a worthy successor to the A80? That question still has no clean answer. And maybe that is exactly what makes it interesting. Number 3. Lexus LC500. This model is Lexus making a statement they had never made before. Not about comfort, not about reliability, about emotion. It started with a concept. The LFLC, introduced in 2012, looked like something that belonged in a film, a grand tourer designed to stop traffic rather than just carry passengers. Most people assumed it would stay a concept. Concepts like that usually do. Lexus proved them wrong. The LC500 arrived at the 2016 Detroit Auto Show with almost everything from that concept intact, and it became the symbol of a brand entering a new chapter of its story. The long hood, low and wide stance, massive spindle grille, sharp LED headlights, flowing roofline, and jet afterburner-inspired rear light signature give it what people have called a Japanese Aston Martin feeling. That comparison is a compliment. It is also, on some angles, not far from the truth. Inside, Lexus's Takumi craftsmanship, the hand-finished details, the precision stitching, the obsessive material quality is felt in everything you touch. A 12.3-inch screen, premium audio, and grand tourer comfort sit alongside a driver-focused cockpit. And the engine? A 5.0-liter naturally aspirated V8. No turbo, no hybrid. Old school. 471 horsepower, 398 pound-feet of torque, working through a 10-speed automatic transmission to reach 60 miles per hour in about 4.4 seconds. The 2026 Lexus LC500 starts at around $101,800. This is not just a sports car, it is a design argument. And Lexus won. Number 2. Nissan GT-R R35 Nismo. This is not just a fast Japanese sports car. This is Godzilla in its most terrifying form. The R35 GT-R arrived in 2007 when Nissan made a decision that changed everything. They separated it from the Skyline name, built it from the ground up as a pure performance machine, and gave it one job: defeat supercars at a fraction of their price. For years, it did exactly that. The Nismo version took that already extreme car and went further. Lighter, stiffer, more aerodynamic, closer to racing than anything that should be street legal. The most important detail about a Nismo GT-R is not the specification sheet. It is the engine assembly. Each engine is hand-built by a specially trained Takumi master, not assembled on a production line. And each engine carries the name of the craftsman who built it. That is not a feature. That is a philosophy. On the outside, a carbon fiber hood, aggressive front splitter, large rear wing, wide air intakes,
and special Nismo aerodynamic bodywork give it the look of a car heading to a circuit, not a car park. Under the hood, a 3.8-liter twin-turbo V6 produces around 600 horsepower and 481 pound-feet of torque, delivered through a 6-speed dual-clutch transmission and the ADASA ETS all-wheel drive system. The GTR Nismo is not just fast in a straight line, it is terrifyingly fast through corners, which is why the term supercar killer was invented for it. The GTR Nismo costs more than $220,000. The GTR was once an underdog story. At this price, it is no longer the underdog. It is the legend.
Number 1. Acura NSX Type S. This model is not just a powerful supercar, it is Honda's most emotional farewell. A signature written in carbon fiber and horsepower on one of the greatest chapters in Japanese automotive history. The NSX story began in 1990 when Honda asked a question no one else was asking. What if a supercar was actually livable? What if it could go wheel to wheel with Ferrari and then drive you to work the next morning without drama? The answer was the first generation NSX, and it changed what people believed a supercar could be. The second generation returned in 2016 as a hybrid all-wheel drive machine, combining 3 electric motors with a twin-turbo V6. Then came the Type S, introduced in 2022 as the final model of that generation, built sharper, rarer, and more track-focused than anything that came before it. Only 350 units were produced worldwide. 300 were reserved for the US market. When it was done, it was done. On the outside, the sharper front end, large air intakes, carbon fiber roof, wide low stance, and aerodynamic lines give the Type S a futuristic warrior appearance. Not quiet luxury, but focused aggression. Inside, semi-aniline leather, Alcantara sport seats, a premium audio system, and the comfort needed for daily use are all preserved. Acura made sure the goodbye was comfortable. Behind the cabin, the 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 and 3 electric motors work together to produce 600 horsepower and 492 pound-feet of torque, delivered through a 9-speed dual-clutch transmission to the sport hybrid super-handling all-wheel drive system. The starting price was around $171,495. But because of its limited production, its status as the final NSX, and the Type S identity, this car today looks like not just a supercar, but a future collectible legend.